$7 million in sales sounds like a ton of work, but the truth is I'm actually working less now than I was when I was trying to make my first 10,000 bucks. Because looking back, I realized that I could have hit the 7-figure milestone on Amazon literally years earlier if I knew what I'm about to show you today. Because what I realized is that scaling an Amazon business is not just about putting in more hours, it's about building a reliable system that scales as you add zeros to your revenue. So after building a full-time income on Amazon for myself and helping thousands of other people start their Amazon business as well, today I'm going to take all the guesswork out because we're going to be diving into the computer, showing you the tactical, high-powered strategy that you can repeat to build a successful Amazon business of your own. Because one of the real biggest issues is that when most people think of selling on Amazon, they're thinking of a business model that is essentially gambling. Because when most new Amazon sellers start, they try and jump in to do Amazon private label. You've seen it where people go out and try to make their own garlic press or something crazy where there's already a ton of things just like that exist. And so they have to go out and they have to spend thousands of dollars in inventory. They have to buy ads, or they're even doing things like drop shipping, which is literally not even allowed on the Amazon platform. Because when it comes to starting an Amazon business with the old way, you're starting from zero. You're selling brands that don't exist on Amazon yet. No one knows about those brands. You're also required to do marketing, buying ads, creating packaging, all the things that actually generate sales for your product. And it requires a big upfront investment to actually create a product from scratch. And it can take a year or two to really see a lot of traction. On the other hand, we have the model that I much prefer, being online arbitrage, where we're literally just selling products that people are already searching for on the daily. We're simply going in and fulfilling existing demand on those products, which reduces the risk massively. Because with an online arbitrage business, you don't need to do any marketing. I've spent basically no money on ads to sell my $7 million on Amazon. The inventory risk of buying a product, it not being there for months, does not exist. Obviously, you're not going to sell every single product at exactly the ideal profit that you're hoping for, but the entire point of online arbitrage is that we're buying and selling things that we already know will at least sell, which takes a ton of risk out of the process. And instead of waiting months for results, you can literally buy something, and I'm going to show you guys how to source these products today. You can buy something today, have it shipped to your house, and make a sale by the end of the week. That's how quick you can turn around and start making money with online arbitrage. Because really what it boils down to is that people buy brands that they trust, right? When they go on Amazon and they search for Dove or Merrill or Mattel, they know exactly what they want and they know they want the real thing. All we need to go in is go and fulfill that demand. So here's one example of what that looks like, right? We can see this is obviously a name brand product that's being sold at everyday website. We can buy these for $9 each, or you can even get them for $7 each in a case, as you can see down there. And then this exact same thing is already in demand on Amazon, already selling about 700 times a month. We can see that on SellerAmp. So all we need to do is go in here and say, hey, I'm paying $9 a bottle for this. Really, we're paying like $7. And in this case, even if we only buy a couple bottles, see how fast it sells for us, we're still going to be making about $6 in profit for every sale that happens on this listing. But there's obviously some technical knowledge that comes with finding those products. So I want to break down the 3 pillars that you need to understand before you start selling on Amazon. These are going to be basically the essential things you need to know, right? As long as you get really good at sourcing products, ungating products, and then fulfilling those products, that is the entire cycle of being an online arbitrage seller. So obviously I want you to understand all of these pillars in great detail. So let's just go ahead and start. Obviously we need to know how to source products. The main thing to keep in mind is that you're not just wandering around looking for things on clearance, looking for things on sale, randomly scrolling through websites. What you're going to want to use to find those first profitable products is called storefront stalking, which in essence, the way this method works is we go to any existing winning product. I just showed you an example winning product you can replicate this method with. We need to check the other sellers on this listing, and then based on what those people are having success on, we can copy the successful items that they've already found. So I want to actually show you that in action, not just talk about it. Let's go back to this example of a product we found. Obviously, we know that this person is almost definitely buying this from a retail store. In this case, maybe even this exact supplier. So what I want to do is I want to go and look at who's on this listing basically. So in this case, I can see it is one person who is selling the syrup here in this case. I can also see all of the brands that they like to sell. I can see all the categories they like to sell, basically all the stats about this person's Amazon storefront. And one thing you'll find that will make it a lot easier for you to find those profitable products is when you're within a specific niche or like an idea that you're reverse sourcing from, doing the storefront stalking from. I like to start with that idea. So in this example, we found this like syrup brand that was already profitable in that one particular item. And the reason why I like doing it this way is now we know like the general cost for that product. I can go in here and the software is going to show me exactly what I need to pay for this product for it to make it a profitable item. In this case, I need to buy these syrups for $6. I need to buy this pump for 41 cents. And what you're going to realize is that number is not always possible. And in this case, that number is probably not possible because we just saw like when we're buying these in bulk, we're paying like $9 or so. We can go ahead and dive in here. Let's see. So yeah, like this one, we can also get this one in bulk in a case for $7 each, but obviously we need to buy this for $6.50. That's like a little bit too expensive. So this is why I like looking at those very similar similar ideas, right? Now we see a big list of these other items and we know, all right, based on what I've already seen, these are probably not profitable just because that max cost is too low compared to what I know these should cost basically. Let's check this out. This is kind of like a new type of product and it's a little bit more expensive. We can see fruit puree, something like that. Okay, a lot more expensive. Keep moving on. That's the name of the game. It's just trying to be as fast as possible with this and trying to get to something like this potentially. I can see this is an 1168 max cost directly from the brand. We can get it for 1350. Let's see. Okay, cool. So with this, the Webster store we were just looking at, I think they have some of these as well. Let's make sure all looks the same. Dessert pear. Okay, cool. Let's open this up because we might have something with some potential here. And yeah, so diving on this listing, I can see it sells 600 times a month. So it's obviously pretty highly in demand item. And then we're buying these from our supplier for, in this case, we can get them, we're just going to buy 4 in a case because it's a bit cheaper. We're going to be buying several bottles anyway. And then it's going to be $9.75 per bottle. So plugging in $9.75 right there. This sells 600 times a month and makes us $5.50 per unit. And we're able to go ahead and list this on our store and sell it. So that kind of shows us how to operate that first pillar of our business. Sourcing products is probably the most important pillar. Obviously, you don't have a business if you're not sourcing any profitable items. So if you want to find some, literally just copy that. I'll leave links down below for any of these softwares and that kind of stuff that we talk about that you'll want to go ahead and grab to actually run your Amazon business. And then when you go out to try to source products for yourself, if you want to sell things in the clothing category, if you want to sell things in the hardware category, just repeat that exact same thing, except change your starting point, right? If you want to sell tools, start with DeWalt tools. If you want to sell clothes, start with Stafford clothing, for example. When you source people who sell a specific niche, they're going to have lots of other ideas in that specific niche for you to go ahead and see if there's some potential somewhere else on the internet. So with that basic understanding of sourcing, the second pillar of selling on Amazon is ungating, right? Some people look at this as like the moat that protects people from selling the exact same products as them all the time. And in that example of the syrup that we looked at, if you tried to go list that in your Amazon account right now, you probably can't sell it yet, but that's a big yet because that is a solvable problem. So I want to show you how to get approved to sell those brands, right? At a basic level, you're going to go ahead and buy 10 units from a legit distributor or retailer of the brand that you want to sell. When you have that invoice, go ahead and upload that to Amazon under the add a product flow on Seller Central. And then by the way, it is totally normal to go through the process of getting some declines. Just kind of the nature of the game right now. You have to submit multiple times to get approved to sell big brands. I've seen this even when I'm buying directly from the brand that I'm wanting to sell. It still takes multiple applications. So you're not doing anything wrong if you do have to submit multiple times. The only wrong thing you can do is giving up and not continuing to submit that documentation. Because after you go ahead and submit that documentation, whether it only takes one time or sometimes it can take 20 or 30 times, just kind of the unfortunate nature, you will get approved at some point and then you'll be able to sell those brands. And now if you don't want to deal with the submission process of getting approved to sell these brands, there are lots of brands on Amazon that are auto ungated. So these are things that you don't even need to apply to sell. Some things you can try right now to see an example of this is try listing anything in the vinyls category, try listing an Athletic Works product, or try listing a Red Heart yarn product. You'll see what I mean? Probably at least one of those is going to be auto ungated for your store. And then when you find those auto ungates, guess what? You can reverse source people who already sell auto ungated brands. That way you'll basically just see lists of people who focus on the same things that are available to you as a newer seller. At the end of the day, don't let things that are gated stop you from selling them, because after you do get approved to sell those items, and you will at some point, that prevents you from competing with that other person who gave up after submitting the first invoice. Just because I know this is a big roadblock for a lot of sellers. Literally, I didn't know how to get ungated for the first year and a half of my personal Amazon business. I'll leave a link down below for a spreadsheet. It's about 1,800 brands you can test and see what you can get auto ungated to sell. And there's also a guide in there that breaks down the ungating process in more detail if you want to check that out. But that brings us to pillar number 3 of selling on Amazon, which is actually getting the products sold, fulfilling those products via FBA magic, if you want to look at it like that. Because when you leverage Amazon FBA, you can ship all of your profitable products off to Amazon all at once. And then as the customers shop on Amazon, you show up in that Prime badge. Amazon ships out those orders. They take care of the customer service and just kind of makes it a little bit more scalable so you can make some sales while you sleep or do whatever you want. But when it comes to actually shipping those products out, there is some pretty common beginner mistakes with making those shipments. And if you do it the wrong way, it can really waste a lot of time. So let me just go ahead and dive in and show you the quick way to do it. So to make shipments on Amazon and track your profit, you'll want to get a tool called Boxem. There's AI assistance, lots of good stuff in here, but specifically for making shipments, Boxem is the fastest way to ship products into Amazon and to also make sure you're paying as little money as possible. So what we're going to do on Boxem, we're going to go to shipments and you're going to just create a shipment, because when we send products to Amazon, they require us to send things in a particular way. So this is going to make it a little bit more straightforward on how they want us to send things. So you go ahead and fill out all the information that you need when it comes to sending to Amazon. Go ahead and opt into 2D barcodes typically as well. This is something that when you use softwares like Boxem can typically help your items check in a little bit faster. I'll show you what those 2D barcodes actually do, but then just go ahead and press that create shipment button. On step 1, we're basically just saying, hey, Amazon, here's what I'm about to send into the warehouse. I'm just going to use this example of a product that I found the other day. Go ahead and say we want to send 10 of them in. Add as many or as few products as you want to send into Amazon at once, and then press continue. On step 2, we're going to say, hey, Amazon, you know what I'm sending you. Now I'm going to tell you what is in each box that I'm sending you. And this is where we get into those specific requirements that Amazon has. When we ship products into Amazon, you'll want to print out FN SKU labels. These are basically just small barcode labels. You can print these out on your at-home printer using 30 up labels, or you can buy a Rollo label printer. It's a little fancier option. It is a little bit faster. That's totally up to you. I definitely started on printer I already had at home, saved some money when I was getting started. But the important part is that you print out these labels and then cover the original barcode of the product. So let's say you got a product like this, you're going to cover that barcode right there. As you are labeling those items, you're going to go ahead and start dragging them down into the box. Usually it just makes sense as I'm doing this, I'll pick up the item, put the barcode on it, put it down into a box, and then I'll fill up that box until it is just under 50 pounds. You go over 50 pounds on Amazon, you will get a little bit of a fee. So make sure you stay under that. And then another note, in my example, I only have one item in this shipment. You can mix up to 100 different things in each individual box. So just keep that in mind. You can drag and drop however you see fit. And then you can also change the dimensions and weight of the box just with the pencil there. But once your full list over here on the left is added to a box, you're ready to go ahead and press continue and then submit that to Amazon. And then on step 3, Boxem is going to show us all the different shipment options that it found for us. So in this case, found 3 different options, and the cheapest is going to be about 20 bucks to ship that 45-pound box within the same state. Usually I pay about 60 cents per pound on average, and that goes up or down depending on how close you're able to get to that 50-pound number. If you're shipping 5-pound boxes, it's going to be more than 60 cents a pound. Go ahead and choose the option that looks best for you here. Usually it's the cheapest option. Sometimes I'll pick my own custom warehouse. If I think this warehouse is really slow this time of year, you might pick up on those things as you go. So I would just say choose the cheapest option as you're a new seller. And then when you press continue and then accept the shipping charges there, that's when Amazon is going to give you these labels. This top label is our FBA label, including that 2D barcode. This is the one that Amazon is going to scan now that Boxem added it to this label for us. Should help us see some faster check-in times, which means faster sales. And then this down here is just your standard UPS label. So you can drop this off at UPS or schedule UPS to come pick these boxes up. And for a lot of people, that might be where they think the guide of selling on Amazon stops, but that is where it stops if you are not going to be a successful long-term seller. Because the real key to making money as an Amazon seller is by stacking profits. And I really need to explain what this means to you, because if you don't understand it, your chances of succeeding as a reseller are dramatically lower. So make sure you understand this, because the secret about profit stacking is that a ton of people are skipping right past items that are profitable. They're profitable right now, but they just don't know how to make those items profitable. And stacking profits in this way can come in a lot of ways. The most common are right here. It's going to be buying things that are on sale, ideally some kind of limited time sale. Also making sure you're stacking things like cash back using Rakuten or Cashback Monitor that shows you all the different highest possible places you can get cash back. Also using things like discounted gift cards that you can buy from Cardbear, or even just something as simple as getting 2% back on your credit card, right? A lot of different ways to add extra bonus money to your business. And like for me, cash back and credit card rewards points like literally pays for my cost of living at this point. So you need to be locked in on this kind of stuff. And let me just show you an example. And to do that, I want to go to the Nautica website, because what we're looking at is this specific polo right here. See how it's 25 bucks? That is where a lot of people stop, right? But what you'll notice is, hey, that pop-up just popped up. By the way, every single time you spend this, it's 15%. I don't know why they put the animation there. I guess somebody in marketing thought it was a good idea. But what that means is you can go in and every single time you want to buy a product, if it's at full price, like this one is right here, you can get an extra 15% off just by plugging in your email, which, by the way, you can plug in an infinite number of email addresses. If you just add a plus after your existing email address, and then literally whatever you want, that's a hack to make as many of those coupons as you want. Another thing Amazon sellers aren't checking for is literally just free coupon extensions like Capital One Shopping. I think I've actually used that coupon code a lot of times at this exact website, buying things like that where it's not quite on sale and you just need a little bit of extra discount and it create that extra discount, or leveraging things like those discounted gift cards like I was talking about. I want to just show you that in action. So if we go to Cardbear and then search Nautica, this is going to show me all the different marketplaces that sell these discounted gift cards. I buy a lot of stuff from this website right here, and you can see, hey, in this case, if I go buy $200 worth of store credit at Nautica, this website's going to give me 20% of that back as soon as I buy this, right? So I'm not spending $200 on inventory. I'm spending $160 on $200 worth of inventory. Oh, and that $200 worth of inventory that I'm buying, it's also another 15 to 20% off because I remembered to plug in my email. I remembered to check for coupon codes. And now you're seeing that Amazon seller that's just looking at price tags. Oh, it's 25 bucks. It only sells for 40 bucks on Amazon. It's not profitable. Versus the seller who's hunting for those extra discounts knows, hey, this is actually like 20 bucks after that discounted gift card discount. And then after the 15% code, it's somewhere around like 16 or 17 bucks. That is a massive difference. And that's why a lot of people look for items forever and can't find anything, because they're just not taking the couple simple steps to find the extra ways to create margin. Which, by the way, if you want to see 12 ways that I create margin in my Amazon business, again, I'll leave a free document link down below. Would really recommend checking that one out as well. So now what do we do with that information? What is your roadmap? Where do we take it? The main thing is just to stop guessing where to source products and just simply start building with the simple, repeatable system that I just gave you. And what I'm going to do to help you make that happen is give you a little bit of a challenge, right? You got two options now. Option number one is either you're a super quick learner, you've seen some of this stuff before, and especially if you didn't pick up that much new information from this video, that means you need to dive in, set yourself a goal to spend $5 on products, $50 on products, $500 on products, whatever you can afford, just throw it some inventory, do it today, do it ASAP. Or you're looking at option number two, where maybe this is your first Amazon video, you're still trying to learn the basics, and you want to see some more in-depth information on how to actually source those products. That's where you can check out the completely free course that I have for you. If you go in the description down below, you'll see the Amazon Launchpad, which is our free community that's helped about 55,000 Amazon sellers at this point. There's a free Discord, 3+ hours of free information, and 6 documents that'll help you do things like know where to source, know how to create discounts, all those extra things that I was talking about. At the end of the day, whether you're option 1 or 2, if this is something you're serious about and looking to get into, the next step of the process is going to be to get those tools you actually need to run your business. So grab 2-week free trials of SellerAmp and Boxem down below. Super excited to see your progress as an Amazon seller. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions. Always happy to chat. And go ahead and click this video right here if you want to see the ungating process in more detail.